ladies and gentlemen, the Gfinity Bracket Show. Principal Bucket.
I'm eating candy.
Birthday boy out here, numbing on some candy. Going over the groups, had a look at the chat. People kind of agreeing, thinking Infused is going to be most likely to compete in that Group B.
Yeah. Why is Hyper Games weak?
Honestly, like, you look at it, they just can't kill things. Like, that's what this game is really coming down to now, is just being able to outslay your opposition.
The French play an extremely fast-paced style.
You would think it would suit that in this game, though.
Right, which it kind of did when there were 3 ASM1s and 1 AR. Now that it's 2 ARs, you can't be as reckless and can't run around as crazy.
Right.
You're going to have to think a little bit, slow down a little bit. I think they're going to really get punished for their aggression here.
Punishment. All right. Well, Hyper Games, I was hoping to hear that you had potential. These two think you can't kill enough. We'll see.
Sorry.
If you can come out higher than 4th in your group. Up next, so we got Group C, guys. Now, here in Group C, we got Envious, we got Optic Nation, Vitality Storm, and Fab Esports. Let's start things off with Team Envious. This is a squad that just won the 2K, or excuse me, the 5K that Mr. X and I hosted last weekend. Yep. Unfortunately, they will not have Saints with them, though, and he was a staple in their success.
Yeah, they're losing a guy who went on an 18-kill spree against TK. They're going to be playing with Merc, though Merc kind of a staple in Envy. The entire brand, just team. They looked good at UGC Niagara. I don't want to say they looked great. They looked like...
They looked okay. You're comparing them to when they're playing...
They made it to the finals,
right.
But it's like, how does this team play against the best in the world? I don't think Merc can fill Saints' job.
Absolutely not.
There's no way that's going to happen.
You look at Envy and you're kind of like, yeah, you want to be talking about how they made this great run in Pro League. They were bottom, now they're second.
Right. But Saints is a huge part of it. Right. Saints is a huge part of that.
I mean, you're not playing with them at this event. Like, that's going to hurt you a lot.
Envy, I don't think anyone knows what to expect from this squad, and how much have they improved, or have they improved at all? Since UGC, when we last saw them, they fell short to TK in that tournament. Our next squad, though, another question mark in my eyes. Optic Nation has been at the bottom of the Pro League for quite some time, and it seems to be the norm now for Killa and Miracles.
About 3 years now.
They have been struggling. Ricky and Embos, of course, the other 2 players on this squad, but guys, tell me a little bit about Optic Nation. Ben, what are your expectations for this team this weekend?
Flip a coin. It really is that simple. You don't know what you're going to get with them. I want to say this team is going to come out and do really well. Like, I really want to say that, but I just don't know. Ricky and Bose have looked fantastic through AW. Killer and Miracles individually at times have looked great too. But you put them all together, I spoke to Killer's brother, Dan Sloss. Even he himself said it's about time Killer and Miracles stop playing. You have to separate business with friendship, because this duo just simply isn't working anymore.
Duo's not functioning the way you want your duo to.
It's not. Teams like this scare me the most, because you could say, if I told you, Optic Nation doesn't make out of the groups, it doesn't really shock you at all.
Right.
But if I tell you, Optic Nation came out, they had a pretty good weekend, they made it into bracket play, and they won their first round, they got knocked out in the semifinals. That wouldn't shock you at all either. So it's like, you don't know. That's the scariest part. It was the same thing with Curse Las Vegas. I mean, they could have won the event, they could have been out first round. You didn't know. And I think that's the worst. It's like not the worst trait you can have with a team, but it's the scariest being a fan.
I'm going to go ahead and count them out this weekend. I'm not going to be really high on these guys, and the reason I want to is I want to see Embos do well. Whenever I say he's not going to do that great, he just goes off, and his team's perform.
Look at Embos on AW. He's been very, very good. Like, despite the situation he's been left in, like he was captain of Optic Nation and they got dropped, he was like, all right, well, you fools can end up last in the Pro League. I don't care. Like, he is
I'm going to play with Sinister and get top 5.
Right, like, what? Who would have thought that? Like, he's honestly been a fantastic, fantastic play.
I want to talk about Vitality Storm.
Okay.
It's going to be Tommy, Marky B, Josh, and Reedy.
This is just weird to me. This makes no sense.
This team makes no sense.
It makes so much sense.
Just, like, for example, we look at Tommy, right? He announces after God Champs, hey, I'm leaving Vitality Storm, ESWC.
Really excited.
By the way, I'm going back to Epsilon. Gfinity. All right, I'm back on Vitality Storm.
Do you think that was anything on the contract end, or is this just Tommy looking for his best?
I can't see. Tommy is not the type of player who is going to switch between team and team just for the sake of it. Like, oh, I think I'm going to win with you guys. Hey, let me go over there. That's not the kind of guy Tommy is. But just that, like the fact that, you know, Vitality Storm not playing with Tommy ESWC, haven't had that vital LAN practice, I really don't know what to expect from Vitality Storm.
I think it's a big win for Tommy to have Josh with him once again.
Yes.
The question for me is, what is Marky B's role on this squad? What did you guys see out of Marky B when he was playing with Vitality Storm at ESWC?
I saw Marky B the last time with Millennium at EU Regionals, because he didn't go to champs.
That was a while ago.
He looked good there. I didn't catch them play at ESWC. It was too early. But Marky's always pretty consistent.
Marky's a great,
he's a great player. What can you tell us about Reedy then?
Reedy?
Because was Reedy at champs?
Reedy's another one of those players who kind of, I don't want to say came out of nowhere. But
who would you compare him to in like the North American scene?
Over the past year, I mean, he's definitely shone a lot. Like, the guy has come out and is playing really good Call of Duty. Who would I compare him to in North America?
Is it like kind of like the rise, like we've seen like Looney over the last like year?
Yeah, maybe that's a pretty good comparison,
right?
I guess.
That's kind of what I would say.
I guess Moch isn't
like
that good of a story anymore.
Reedy's a good player, and you know all of them individually are great. But you put them together, and it's like, well,
is this the first time him teaming with kind of the EU's like upper echelon players, like the Tommies, the Joshes, the Mad Cats?
We always talk about the sort of the clique in North America, the same players. He's like in that clique now as well.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, is this like his first go in that clique?
I wouldn't say it was his first go, but he's been around for a while. How well is the team going to do, though?
Do they have a chance to beat Optic Nation or Envy?
This is what makes this group crazy.
This group is like,
it's.
I wouldn't say this is the group of death because there's no like 3 or 4 powerhouses,
but
they're all like even. Like I can't say one team is significantly better than all of the rest.
If Envy have Saints, 100% they go
without
through.
doubt.
Like, but they don't.
Without Saints,
they just
it's a totally different
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
But what's even more interesting for me in this group, and this is the team I think that we should be keeping our eyes out for, is actually going to be Fab Esports. I really think out of all,
You stealing my quote here, bro?
Remember, he hated us at champs when we went with Fab.
I said this before champs. I said it in the office yesterday, and you looked at me like...
You went with the Germans. You went with the Germans.
It's a combination of teams.
I was not...
By the way, the Germans outplaced the Netherlands.
Okay, great.
So they were the better of the 2 Fabbies.
Look at ESWC, for example. Look at Rush. Every single player, or pro North American player, was tweeting about Rush.
Right.
After that, like game 5, like everyone was like, "Yo, Rush just won on that map. Rush is amazing. Like, who is this guy?" Like people didn't even.
That's like the nature of like the Call of Duty community.
To be fair, though, I also watched Rush struggle at COD Champs. In the games I cast, I was really high on Rush coming in.
Okay.
And he went -3 and -6 in the 2 games.
Fair.
Gunny Elite and Kiwi, though, I thought were definitely the strength of Fabi Germany. And then you add in Torres and Rush, the better half.
Exactly.
From
it's like the better
you
half
have
of
the
both
best
teams.
possible Fab Esports squad possible.
You basically just went, all right, here's the 2
This group is so
best 2 plays. One thing that does concern me, and I'm not sure if you guys even thought about this, language barrier. How much of a thing is that going to be? You don't think that's going to be an issue?
English.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to these guys in English? Their English is not that good.
Oh, Puckett will teach them.
Yeah, dude.
He gets there tomorrow.
It's really not.
Kiwi was on point. Gunny Elite was on point.
To call out the pace.
Rush and I had a conversation.
Having a conversation and calling out in a video game is very, very different.
I think calling out in a video game is easier.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
really?
you learn.
Say 2 or 3 things.
You could teach me retreat in Spanish real easy.
Oh my god, you try. In all honesty, I think it's something that we should definitely think as, okay, it could hinder them a little bit. I think if you don't think it will, it's naive.
I want to hear from them.
Okay.
I want to hear from these guys. Back Ben up, because I think that's bullshit.
Yeah, I think Ben is wrong.
We've seen it happen in the past when, like, Tommy was teaming with Gotaga. And everyone was like, oh, how is it like playing with him? And they were like, oh, it's a pain in the ass to communicate because he goes immediately to his native tongue. That's what you do. If you're calling out, you don't want to be translating something into something which isn't, that's your second language. You're standard Americans. You don't understand what it's like to speak different languages.
Ben, tell us, what was it like growing in high school? How many languages did you take?
A lot. But that's in England. Are these guys from England? No.
I don't know. I just assume all of you Europeans.
Yeah, that's
you
just
function the same.
That's messed up.
Just lump them all in together.
Yeah,
It's all right.
That's messed up.
They're all the same.
That's messed up.
Everybody who lives in that massive area.
They all have the same culture. There's no differences.
Yeah. Group D.
America.
Don't choke, Ben.
You guys want to go to Walmart? Group D.
See someone from England in the chat.
What?
There you go. You can see anyone with any common sense says I'm right.
No, they said they love Puckett.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not love this beautiful man?
It does say love Puckett.
Yep.
Ben is right. Ben is right. Ben is
dropping
right.
bombs.
I don't see where Ben is right.
I don't see a single person writing Ben is right, especially not.
Yeah, not you, Nerdo the boy.
Nerdo the boy.
You get a 30-second timeout. No, I'm kidding.
Just kidding. It's not 30 seconds. It's 300 seconds. Let's go to our final group here to keep the show moving. Group D, the final of our 4 groups. 16 teams split up. Only 2 will come out of each group, and here in Group D, we're going to see some talent. You got Team Caliber leading the way, but Prophecy is the squad I'm most excited for, along with Mindfreak here in Group D. Aware Gaming joining them as the 4th squad. Let's start off, though, with Team Caliber. They won the event that only one other pro team attended.
Woo!
How good is Team Caliber in your eyes right now, Mr. X?
Not that good. I
Why?
don't think they're that strong. You know, they blow a ton of close games online. I mean, how many times have we seen Parasite just turn the stream off and, like, rage recently?
And then
I
we go
feel
to
like
Sharp
every
Stream.
single day. Like
Twice a week. I mean, they win UGC Niagara. I mean, we talked about Envy. They were kind of up and down. They get 3-0'd by Envy in the first best of 5 in the grand finals. I mean, they come back in 3-0.
They bring them back, right?
Right. But
still,
it's like, how
like,
can
what?
you be that inconsistent? I mean, you're sitting down at the same station.
Plus-
you lose 3-0, then you 3-0 them back.
Plus, bear in mind that was an Envy without Saints as well.
Right.
So it's
Which is, like, not the
well,
strongest Envy team, clearly.
Right.
Nope. Some internal issues, like struggling like a little bit. I don't know how close those guys are together. This is a team that's like really hard to get a read on them because
Yeah.
they can come out. It's almost like Optic Nation. They can come out and play like really well.
Honestly,
and-
that
or they
team
can come out and
house,
play.
that team house
awful.
is going to do one of 2 things. It's going to fix things. Maybe not for this event.
Yeah.
Maybe if they can get, you know, comfortably at X Games. Maybe X Games you see kind of that full potential, or it's going to completely implode things. Because that was one of the big worries with Cursel V. Them guys living in a team house, that would have done one of 2 things,
The
right?
personalities,
Yeah.
It would have been
explosions.
right. It would have been either a great reality TV show, or you know,
Right.
maybe not so much. But I don't know how I feel about that TK squad right now. You know, Nameless, he's playing pretty consistently. Parasite, we all kind of said at the start of the game he was looking like one of the best.
I had top 5 for sure.
Like
Yeah.
you look at Search and Destroy, the guy's an animal. Then you kind of look at Sharp, who's been pretty consistent, had his moments. For me, though, when TK were making that change, I had Gunjar on kind of like the chopping block. I really did. I thought if you were going to replace
Right.
one, he would be that guy.
Yeah.
I thought
But
you keep
now-
Theory.
Right, because Theory was playing out of his mind.
Right.
Like, that to me makes sense. But now, I guess, you know, with the way the game's going, having Gunjar makes a bit of sense.
Is Sharp still a Bal God? Because that's something that I was getting tweeted at nonstop throughout COD Champs. Was Sharp's Bal is
this
on
thing about
point.
Sharp, he can do
His
everything.
Bal is so
right?
pure.
But then you compare it to the like of like Formal,
Right.
Like, yeah, that's a little weird.
like Swanee.
There's a difference between like doing everything and then doing one thing exceptionally better than everybody else.
Right.
Like, Sharp can Bal. He can SMG. Is he in the top 5 in either?
1 to 10 scale. Where do you rank TK?
Like, how confident I am on them?
No, just how good are they? 10 being the best team in the league.
Give him a 6.
I was gonna say like a 5-6 as well.
I would tee him more probably towards a 5.
My
just because-
gameplay is a -2.
So brutal. But this is the thing again. They're very inconsistent. It reminds me a little bit of was it Group C or
Yeah.
Group B? Like all of the teams
Well,
can just be great.
I think this is the most difficult group.
Same question. 1 to 10 scale. How good is this new Prophecy squad? You got Apathy, you got Aches, you got Aqua, and Nagafen. AAA plus Nagafen.
the
you know,
Nas
I
squad.
didn't want to say something inappropriate. Sorry, continue.
Aqua, I mean, he's always been strong on land. I know in Advanced Warfare. That's what we've seen from him. Had a pretty good ESWC. Had a great COD champs. And you know, Nagafen as well. I think he's kind of a player, not the flashiest, but he brings a lot to this team. You know, can run the LMG, can run the AR, he can run a sub. He's a very good S&D player. I mean, he brings the total package. I think I look at Apathy and Aches. Apathy has been crushing. Whether anyone wants to talk about it or not, the last 2 or 3 events, Apathy is absolutely dominated.
The man has always been my X factor.
Right.
Whatever team Apathy is on, when he goes off, he takes over games.
Yeah, he really does.
And it doesn't matter how his teammates are performing. And that's what I love about Apathy. The same is true for Aqua, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They play very similar at times. They're both very streaky players. And most of the time, I see the good streaks from them. What I like about Aqua more than Apathy is his smarts and S&D, his sneakiness.
Let me ask you guys both something. Aches and Apathy or Remy and Facento?
Aches and Apathy.
In a heartbeat, right?
Yeah.
The only thing that would make me say Remy and Vicento is Vicento's leadership and the way that he kept that team together was like.
I think you look at it like Vicento's like the one that makes it like an argument.
Right. But you know, you got Aches and Apathy.
I think
like right now, like yeah, you go with Aches and Apathy. Like Aches has stepped his game up a lot.
Right. If Aches doesn't suck, I mean, I think they probably win the bracket.
So I think Remy made Remy made Aqua better. Yeah. I'm wondering, can Apathy make Aqua as good? Or vice versa, can Aqua make Apathy better? Because I definitely think the biggest improvement you get here on Prophecy is Nagafen doing the dirty work, allowing Aches to become a Slayer once again.
Well, right. Here's the thing with this team. It's like it's going to be Apathy and Aqua being extremely aggressive with subs. Like they're two of the better aggressive submachine gun players in the game. I mean, Nagafen, we saw his ballot can contend with anyway. I mean, probably the second best ballot champs outside of Clayster. I mean, obviously they got second. I mean,
right.
He was dominating every other battle. I mean, Slasher didn't have a good champs.
That's
right? Can Aches kind of play that different role where he goes back and forth? I know switching between sub and AR. I think he can. It's just a matter of how aggressive he's fucking just getting Ben's face this balloon.
You need to just what? Okay.
I think this team will be pretty good.
I give it
depends on the
I give it an 8 on paper.
An 8 on paper, yeah.
8 on paper.
You've been a fan of Aqua for such a long time. Ever since we saw him in like one of the first
I said this is the new scum, and you are like, yo, Puckett, you are so stupid. Why could you call this kid the new scum? You're blowing this way out of proportion. That's a hyperbole.
And then what happened, Puckett?
He gets second place.
And then what happened?
He places higher than scum. He gets drafted by everyone.
So
everyone wants a piece of Aqua.
Aqua's better than Scumpy right now?
Nah, he just plays higher.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
1 weekend, the next weekend we did. Oh yeah, TR struggled, by the way, at USWC. I was looking back, they went to so many Game 5s.
But
you know,
I don't think that surprises me though. You know, the teams are it's suspended already. Like they're clearly not having.
Ben, you ruined my transition. You know who else had a lot of Game 5s?
Who else had a lot of Game 5s?
Planetronix Mindfreaks at Call of Duty Championships.
They won a bunch of them though.
Buzzo, Shocks, Fida, and Dens. The best of the best when it comes to Australia's competitive Call of Duty scene. Really, I think what you saw out of Fida and Shocks is absolutely scary. Dens and Buzzo, also, they just seem to be kind of the veterans of this team. Dens considered one of the best players in all of Australia. In fact, I think you could say that about all 4 of these, argue who is the best player on this team. Mindfreak got top 6.
Yes.
They place higher than TK. They place higher than Optic Gaming. How high do they place in this group against the likes of TK and Prophecy?
I think they're going to do really well in this group. They finished 6th at Champs. They're the only team in the group to not make a roster change since Champs. And I believe, did they beat TK and Aware at Champs?
Yep.
Right? They beat both of them at Champs. I mean, I think this is going to be a pretty good weekend for them.
So, normally I would agree with you. Curious to know when they flew out. Because for Champs, they flew out like a week and a half in advance. Like, they were very climatized.
I think I saw on Twitter that they were there like Wednesday.
Is that enough time?
Tuesday or Wednesday.
3 days?
No. Nowhere near.
You're only flying halfway around the world.
Only halfway.
Like to the opposite side, plus from southern to northern hemisphere.
That really isn't enough time. Like, yes, okay, they're not going to be like sat there as if they've just got off the plane, but like they had a phenomenal COD champs. This team is talented, but going into like the tournament starts Friday. Going into Friday's games,
I love these dudes. They're going to do well. Yeah. Aware, Watson back with Joe, Petey, and Rated. Talk to me about Aware here, Ben. Watson got all the love after COD champs.
Yeah, everyone was giving Watson a lot of love, including the guys over at TR. You know, Vicento came on and said, you know, Watson is very difficult to play against. Very, very good. We've seen PT over in North America a couple of times. Obviously, you may recognize him when he played under the TCM organization. But again, I look at this group and I don't see Aware coming out. But I do think they could be like kind of dark horse again, because you don't really know what you're gonna get with them.
Yeah, they could like ruin somebody's weekend. Like Aware could like beat TK, and then like Prof and Mindfreak could win out.
Exactly.
Like that like kind of hurts.
It's possible.
I mean, it really ends TK.
Yeah, it completely comes down to who plays who first.
Yeah, and what 3 out of the 4 players from that team right now are the ones that placed at champs, the top 12. So
who did they bring in? They brought in Rated?
Yes. They had JT.
What do you know about Rated?
You're from there.
Not enough.
Dude, I've been over here for like a year and a half now.
We know he sent you back.
I met Rated very briefly at G3. He didn't go off in that tournament, but I haven't had a chance to really watch him in Advanced Warfare. So I'll be excited to see why Watson, Joe, and PD decided to pick him up as their official fourth. PD, though, was looking pretty darn good this past week over at ESWC. Yes. How is he playing this week and now back with the Aware boys? You like that, don't you?
Don't even think about it. Don't do it. Please don't do it.
I won't pop it.
Thank you.
But I want
I like the him and Watson combo. I think Watson's going to have another very good weekend. You know, in his home country. With the AR, I think he's going to be very good.
Stop it. Give me the pen.
We're good.
Matt, blow me the balloon. Don't be mean.
I won't break it. And if I do, I might replace it.
With his balloon.
Oh, you survived one poke balloon.
Stop
It's made of metal. Guys, that is it for all 4 of our groups. Should we start picking?
Do you want to show our group play winners? And then we'll do the...
We have probably the best graphics we've ever had.
Yeah.
I think it's fair to say.
#1 graphic on the planet. Let's go to our first group here, Group A. You can see the crowns mean our top pick for each group. Just the face is the second one. Now, while you guys were high on Epsilon coming through with the pickup squad, I'm basing this on experience. I think Strictly Business always has a lot to prove. I think they're able to catch Epsilon, especially if that matchup happens early in the tournament. Not quite sure of what the matchups are there in first round for Group A, but I definitely think SB, regardless of the scenario, should be able to win a lower bracket match against Epsilon if it's needed.
I think Epsilon's probably the safer pick, especially if they've been boot camping with Optic Gaming with Denial. I think that'll be a team that has a lot of good practice. SB, I just don't feel great about them going overseas and playing.
No? Yeah, neither do I. There's something about it. I don't know. I think Epsilon is the safer pick. When you look at those two, I think you kind of have to go. I think you have to go Epsilon, right?
I think you'd have. I mean, you look at the Epsilon roster.
This is the cool thing. I just looked this up. It is going to be SB and Epsilon playing their first match. So whoever plays this, most likely going to play Optic Gaming for the first shot in. If they lose, then they'll get their second chance.
Yeah.
But the first time around, you guys think definitely
Epsilon wins. Yeah.
And do you think I kind of agree that Epsilon might be SB if it goes to a rematch. I think Epsilon could
so why do you
learn from SB in their time from losing that first match to the time they play them in their third match of the weekend.
Okay.
I think Epsilon's the more mentally strong team of those two. I think if there was a team to bounce back from like a loss and then have to get a win to get in, I think it would be like Vicento and Swanee and those guys. Like I couldn't see like SB kind of keeping that composure if they lose early to bring it all the way back.
I agree.
All right, so that was Group A. Let's take a look at our Group B thoughts. This, of course, is Denial at the top of the group. All 3 of us agreed there.
This is the only group we had all the same.
All 3 of us went TCM. Just not a whole lot of love for Infused or Hyper Games. Both teams with potential, but I don't think that potential compares to some of Europe's best. The Legends all there on TCM playing for one last event together before Mad Cat joins the squad. Pool C, though, in the bottom right-hand corner. That is going to be...
we picked everywhere.
Team Caliber, Prophecy, Mindfreak, and Aware. Look at my crowd.
So you had Mindfreak first.
Yep, Minecraft.
I got
Minecraft.
Yes, I got Minecraft and Minecraft going to the #1 spot in their group. I think they can beat Prophecy early, and I think they can definitely beat Team Caliber in the lower bracket if it's needed. Mindfreak has to play Aware first, so that should be a first win, and then say Prophecy gets through. I think Mindfreak could definitely beat this Prophecy squad in a game type like S&D, and I definitely think they'll win an uplink game against this current squad.
So you were smart. You looked at who played who.
Yeah.
I didn't.
I prepared for the bracket show.
Yeah. I'm trying to think.
I like that.
Yeah.
Has Goon played at G3?
Did he play? There was one Gfinity he didn't play at.
G2 he didn't
G2
play.
he didn't play.
G1 he didn't play. He played G3.
I think I've seen Goon in Europe.
Well, he was in Europe at G2.
He was in Europe in G2, but he
just
didn't play.
He was coaching the team.
That's weird.
I'm trying to think.
What did he play at G3? I don't think he.
I don't know.
He must
trying
have
to
done.
think.
No, he must have done. He must have done.
Does it affect your decisions on who you think?
First
comes out
time
of the group?
traveling to Europe to play? I mean, that's always like a...
But then you can say the same thing about the
adjustment.
Matt, could you explain what's on your head in your graphics other than crowns?
I don't know where you found that off of a controller I did.
What were you?
Yep, I was in the desert filming a show with a controller, and I had a bandana on my head, and I saw Puckett at his computer cropping it out with Ben trying to get the worst image possible.
If you're wondering what that image is, I'll tweet it out a little bit later on.
Yeah, don't worry, guys. We'll go full size. So,
full
Goon did play at G3.
He did.
So, Ben, why are you higher on TK than you are Prophecy here?
Again, this was one of those where I think you could flip a coin between the two. I just look at TK and I think, all right, you know, they've been living in a team house now. Hopefully that means something.
But we've seen that it doesn't mean anything.
We've seen it online. We saw UGC like glimpses of poorness.
Yo, AR got a team house,
they barely got by Envy with Merc.
You could flip a coin. I really think so. I'm not rating Mindfreak and Aware that strong in that group though. That's
Hold on,
the thing.
I have a question. How much better is Prophecy and Mindfreak than Envy, the one that's going to this event?
I think Mindfreak's stronger.
I think Mindfreak's stronger.
I think Prophecy is.
I think Prophecy is too.
I don't know if Caliber is.
No, I'm saying because you kind of compare. It's like, what would the score? Well, hold on, what would, no, but just answer me this. What would the score of Prophecy Envy be?
Probably like a 3-2.
3-2?
Very close.
In favor of Prof.
The Envy with
maybe
Merc.
A 3-1. Oh.
The one that's going to this event.
Maybe like a 3-1.
What would the Mindfreak Envy game be?
Probably like a 3-1 too. I'm generous,
and
man.
TK needed 2 chances to beat that Envy team that you just said would get 3-1 by both of those teams. And you were generous, you just said.
No, Matt just baited you in and then hit you with it.
Dude, you just like career-ended Elmo.
And then
like
you
Chris.
think TK is going to beat two teams
it's one of those. I think it's just one of those where I think it could happen. Everyone has those zealous predictions.
Fair
Dude,
enough,
you have
enough.
Mindfreak coming first. Like,
Yeah, Matt. Yeah, Ben. Mindfreak's the best team in this group. That's why they get first.
I put him second.
They got the best players in the world.
I think they're first. I think Jetlag is going to be really kick him in the ass.
Supposedly, they were saying in the chat that they didn't get the champs a week early. They got the champs on Wednesday.
Ooh,
no,
chat is
Yo,
disagreeing.
Argue with the chat. Argue with the chat.
Yeah.
Go off my Australian caster.
The non-people's caster Benson.
Dude, this guy.
Let's go to our Group D predictions.
Okay.
No, group,
Yeah, we got one more group.
Yeah, you can go into...
I like how our bracket goes like this.
Right, yeah.
We're going to bring you down. Group D. Pool D.
Pool D.
However you want to call it.
Nah.
We got Envy on top.
So you're the only one that went with something different here, Puckett. You went with Fab Esports.
Ah, yes!
I like
and
it.
honestly, after thinking about it more, I think that the head belongs to Vitality Storm.
What?
Yep.
Nah, you're delusional.
I am delusional. Why Fab? Fab plays Envy first. I think if you're going to beat Envy, you do it early. And I think you definitely have the potential. You saw what Rush could do, as you mentioned, at ESWC. I know what I'm getting out of Kiwi. I think he is one of the best players in Europe. Has been since Black Ops 2, when I first got a chance to see him at COD Champs.
You've been a huge Kiwi fan.
Huge Kiwi fan.
Ever since I've known you, you've been on the Kiwi boat.
I just find these players that, like, it's been this way since Halo 1. When I just see someone with insane reaction time and accuracy, and I just know if you put in enough hours into the game, those two factors will make you better than your competition. Yeah. So I think Kiwi has that natural ability, and I think once he's able to kind of gel with this new squad, having Rush with him to support, I think they'll do really well. My question mark is really Gun Elite. I don't want to call out any individual player, but Gun Elite, I think if he has a great tournament, they could do really well and definitely beat Optic Nation and Vitality Storm. I think that's the only way they
Anyone can make it out of that group. You could have made an argument to pick anybody in that group to make it out.
Yeah.
That's like the one group I think you could have made the real argument that anyone could have made it out.
We all went for Envy first, though. That's actually really interesting. I mean, even with kind of like, you know, Merc playing for Envy,
they probably have the 3 strongest players in that group. Like Teep, Looney, Proofy are probably the 3 strongest players in that group.
Proofy's got to be huge this
weekend. He needs to play
and he's got to be consistent because he's shown that he can just go off, especially in that 5K we cast. He went off, dropped a few 40 bombs, and then was pretty silent, like 27 kills in a 10-minute respawn game. I think Proofy's got to be really consistent, become the backbone of this team. Let Looney shine. Let TP kind of take over some of the objective help and just see what can Merc bring to the table rather than just sitting in the hill. Can he get a little bit sneaky? Maybe just, do whatever he can to add some extra kills on.
Yeah. I mean, Merc's usually played pretty well at larger events. He's always performed well. I mean, this year's champs, no, he didn't play very well.
He was part of the Envy squad that won G3, right?
In the past, yes.
Right, but look at his performance in AW. Let's forget previous games.
He had the Gfinity title, Ben.
Great. Okay. Now he's on Advanced Warfare, where he has not looked anywhere near as good as he has in the past.
What's the lowest he's placed?
In his career?
No, in Advanced Warfare.
Advanced Warfare?
Good question. What'd they get at champs? Probably their worst placing.
Would it be?
Top 16.
I'll take it.
Merc's play has always been.
If I'm struggling and I'm never finishing outside of top 8, top 16 maybe my worst, I'll take it.
Really?
Actually, bring it up if you can. Show Codpedia.
For a player who's just historically always been very, very consistent.
Yeah, you can have an off title and still be good. You think Aches is as good at Advanced Warfare as he was on Ghost or Black Ops 2? Because I don't.
No, neither do I.
And I still think this prop squad has a ton of potential.
Potential now, yeah.
All right.
Where's young Merc?
Yeah. We're looking at this Merc squad.
9 through 12, 8th, 5th.
The last one they have is the Columbus. The playoffs. So they got 5, 6. He got 9, 12 at UNG.
So open.
So you got 5, 6.
That was when the first game
right?
Out, which
9,
is when
12.
Good.
And then they got 5, 6 again with Zuma and Saints, and then champs. They went back to a placing
remember
like
how
this.
many teams were at season 1 playoff? 5th, 6th is a very misleading placement when there's 8 teams which are actually at the event.
No, 100% agree with you.
I don't think he's bad. 5th, 6th is a lot higher than.
I'm not saying he's bad.
I think if you look at Merc's career in AW, I think it stacks up better than if you look at Killa and Miracle's career. And these guys are in the same group.
No
So
doubt.
I think Envy is still going to be stronger than that Optic Nation squad.
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you on that. I'm not disagreeing. But I'm just saying I think when you look at Merc's career from Ghost, even Black Ops 2, and then you look at the AW, it's drastically gone down.
Yeah, but why are you worried about Merc specifically on this squad?
Because he's replacing Saints, who has been the key factor of all of Envy's success in the Pro League.
I think this Envy team is good enough to get out. I don't know what they do after that.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah.
Envy definitely beats Fabi in your guys' mind.
Do they play each other first? Is that the first game?
First match.
No.
Really?
It's not definite. No way.
Vitality Storm has no chance of beating Optic Nation.
No, they have a chance.
They do.
But
that's the thing.
That's the thing about this pool. Right. It's like anybody can beat anyway.
Yo, Vitality Storm's coming through. And before it happens, Optic Nation fans, I'm sorry, deal with it.
Nice.
Yeah, that's how we roll. All right, so we have differing brackets.
We do.
Based on our opinions. We're going to go through those brackets, guys, after the commercial break. So don't go anywhere. During the break, though, we're going to be showing some of your tweets on the show. Let us know, who do you think is going to finish in the top 4 at Gfinity? We'll be right back.